Welcome to our vocabulary parade. Today, Mrs. Julia's class will be presenting math words. It's a right angle. It's a right angle. Today, you'll know what a right angle is. A right angle is an angle that forms into a square. In real life, you see right angle in a desk, a building, and a window. It's a right angle. It's a right angle. Now you know what a right angle is.
Definitions. A section of the whole thing. It is expressed in the form of A over B. For example, 1/2 is written as 1/2. Synonyms: piece, portion, selection, share. You could see fraction on a pizza. Now you know what a fraction means. Wonder how many people could fit in this classroom? You could find out by cramming people in. The word capacity means an amount that a container could hold. Now I'll tell you some real-life examples of when you could use capacity in cooking, baking, experimenting, etc. Now I'll tell you some fun facts about capacity. The origins are Middle French, Late Middle English, and Latin. And most English speakers know this. Now you know what's capacity. Now you know how to measure mass of liquid.
Did you know that convex and concave are antonyms? Today we will start with convex. A convex polygon is a polygon that has all vertices pointing outwards. Some examples of convex polygons in the real world are squares and bookcases. Now that you know convex, you can learn about concave.
Have you ever put on glasses, if you need glasses for those of you who don't wear them, and everything was separated? Probably not, but that might be because the lenses were concave. Concave lenses refract pictures. Concave shapes, as you probably guessed, are shapes with caves. The caves are circular. Now, there's a tricky part. Concave polygons are polygons that don't have circular caves. If they did, they wouldn't be polygons. But remember, this is concave, not convex.
Did you ever wonder what to do with numbers that you want to subtract, add, multiply, or divide? You use an equation. An equation is a number sentence that shows that numbers are equal. For example, in math, we use equations. And did you ever wonder where to put an equal sign? You put it in an equation. Now you know how, why, and when to use an equation.
Lines. There are lines everywhere. I just think you haven't noticed them. In geometry, a line segment is part of a line that is bounded by two distinct endpoints. A line segment can be used in a polygon and on your desk. Now I hope you notice lines everywhere around you.
Do you know why a circle isn't a quadrilateral? Because it's pointless. Quadrilateral is one pair of parallel sides or sides that never cross, and a shape that has 4 sides or 4 angles. Here I have a Rubik's Cube, which is a square. On each side, it's a square. It has 4 straight sides and 4 angles. And little squares are inside of it. It's a double quadrilateral. That was all about quadrilaterals and many things that can have quadrilaterals in them.
What can you call so many types of shapes with 4 equal sides? A rhombus, of course. A rhombus is a quadrilateral with all equal sides the same length. For example, it can be like a pattern of shapes. It can be a kite, and it can be a rhombus pattern blocks in the real life. Now don't ask me about rhombuses because I need to find how many rhombuses I have at home.
Do you like pies? If you do, you like the word pie graph because they're nothing alike. A pie graph is a graph in the shape of a circle that is divided into equal parts, and each part represents a part of the whole. A pie graph can be used to show data about something like a bar graph that is in the shape of a circle. A pie graph can be used to record data, like a graph showing dogs are getting more love than cats. Now I think you'll start making pie graphs because if you don't, you're not a pie lover.
If you have too much data to compare and don't know how to compare it, a bar graph is your solution. A bar graph gives information. For example, the best animal or the least favorite animal, but voted by people around. Now you know what bar graphs are used to present data, and it makes it easier to collect data. Collect data. Now you know what a bar graph is. You can tell people what it means.
Do you know what a pictograph is? A pictograph is a piece of data with pictures. You can see a pictograph when people want to figure out who has the most video games, and the people just want to use pictures to show who has the most. As you can see, a pictograph is good to show data, and now you know about pictographs.
Distributive property, do you want to know more? Distributive property is to break up factors and help split factors up. A real-life example is when you're setting up chairs in rows, and you want a number of chairs in each row. You can use the distributive property to help you figure how many chairs you need. Remember, distributive property is when you break factors into smaller factors.
Your math quiz says, make a generalization with the following numbers, 5, 2, 7, 41. But you weren't paying attention in class. What is a generalization? The definition of generalization is to test a statement saying how and why objects, numbers, shapes, etc. are alike. Example, you have a rhombus, square, trapezoid, and a rectangle. Make two generalizations. One could be that these are all quadrilaterals. Another could be that they all have at least one pair of parallel sides. Back to the generalization, back to your math quiz. All the numbers are prime numbers. Now that you know what generalization means, I need to go write the answer to that math quiz.
Do you know what time is? Do you know what the amount of time that passes by? Then you know what elapsed time is. Well, let me tell you more. Elapsed time is the total amount of time that passes by from a starting time to an ending time. You use elapsed time when you're running races and with schedules. People use train schedules to find the elapsed time of when the next train is coming. Now you can brag that you know what elapsed time is, but you have to give me all the credit. Do you know what your characteristics are? Do you know a fancy way to say it? Try attribute. Attributes means characteristics, and since we're talking about math, what are the attributes of a rectangle or square? Let's start with rectangle. The attributes of a rectangle are that it's a quadrilateral and a polygon, and opposite sides are equal. Now let's go to square. The attributes of a square is that all sides are equal, and it's a quadrilateral and polygon like a rectangle. Now you know what attributes means, and you can warn your little brothers and sisters about this in 3rd grade.
Have you ever seen a giant eraser with 2 parallel sides? A parallelogram has 4 right angles and 2 parallel sides. A parallelogram could be a roof of a building, or a piece of paper, or even an eraser, and there are so many other things. Now you know of an object with 2 parallel sides.
I got a polygon. Here's the polygon. A polygon is a closed shape with a straight line segment. A polygon can have more than 3 sides. I have a polygon-shaped pan at home. A box at a post office is shaped like a polygon. My dog's cage is shaped like a polygon. I got a polygon. No more polygons.
What is volume? What is volume? Let me tell you. Volume is the number of cubic units it takes to fill up an object, or to measure a 3D object. We use volume in everyday life, like in pools and water bottles. In other words, volume is how much water fills up an object. Volume is a series of books, like Harry Potter. What is volume? What is volume? Now you know what it is. They're grams, that is what you measure with. Grams are a metric unit used to measure mass. Do you know we measure many foods in grams? For example, meat and produce. That is grams, that is all about grams.
If you don't know where mass is, it's inside of you. That's why your body's together. And because of your bones too. It's the matter in an object. In real life, you can see a coin. A coin has mass. Even paper. Thank you. This was all about mass.
What's a liter? What's a liter? What's a liter? Well, it is a unit of measurement that is measured. Did you know that we use a liter to measure liquids like milk, soda, and juice? That's a liter, that's a liter, that's a liter. Do you know what parallel lines are? If not, lines extending side by side in the same direction. The lines do not intersect and are an equal distance at all points. This was Mrs. Children's class. Hope you enjoyed this vocab parade.